We here at King 5 and other media outlets are appealing a ruling that would force us to hand over video we took of Seattle riots. Now, the case surrounds the events of May 30th when vandals destroyed parts of downtown, setting fires to cars, looting businesses, and allegedly stealing some guns. Now, last month, the Seattle Police Department took King 5 to court along with Como, Cairo, Q13, and the Seattle Times. The police want to see footage that we have not aired on television nor posted online. It's something we call raw video. Now, the news departments collectively attempted to block the move because it violates our editorial independence. But a King County judge ruled that we should turn over the raw video to the police to help them identify the people who stole the guns and burned those police cars. Well, today we and the other media filed an appeal with the state Supreme Court. King 5 News Director Pete Sayers issued a statement about the subpoena saying, quote, "As journalists, we do not work with or for the government entities we cover. When we're turned into a fact-gathering apparatus, it undermines our constitutionally protected role and harms the flow of information to the public." We have more in-depth stories on this issue on king5.com. All you have to do is text the keyword media to the number on your screen, and we will send you a link.